Today we're going to talk about how to get a ton of rare resources in Palworld incredibly fast. Let's get to it. All right, first up, we're going to talk about how to get a hold of a ton of any resource that you use for building. So any metal, anything like that, as long as it's used for building, you can essentially dupe it. And one of the main reasons you would want to do this is to get a hold of a resource that is rather hard to get a hold of, and that is the ancient civilization cores. Now, obviously you can use this for anything else that you want a ton of, whether it is the Pal Steel or Hexalite, whatever. So in order to get the ancient civilization cores, you are going to need to be able to build something that uses the ancient civilization cores. And your best option for this to get as many as possible is to use the large-scale electric egg incubator. So this dupe is pretty easy to do. You just need to have all of the resources to make one of these. Go to a base where you don't have the resources otherwise, take the resources needed to build one with you. Put those resources in a chest inside of the base area. Now what we're going to do is essentially dupe the resources that is necessary to build this incubator. And in order to pull this off, you need to cross the line outside of the base at the exact moment you are placing the item. And what happens is it places the blueprint, but it doesn't actually spend the resources. And the easiest way I found to do this is to just stand right on the line and kind of just wiggle back and forth until you get to the point where as soon as you hit back, or whatever it is for you, for me, I'm on keyboard, so it's S. So as soon as I hit S, it moves me outside the base area. So then essentially all I have to do is hit S and click the mouse at the exact same time. When I do that, it is moving me outside of the base area at the exact same moment I am placing the blueprint, resulting in me placing the blueprint but not using any resources. Then I can just go back in and cancel the blueprint and I get all of the resources back. But I don't actually get them back, I'm creating new ones because I never actually used the ones that were inside the chest to allow me to place the blueprint in the first place. I will admit that it is a little finicky, and as you can see, it doesn't always work every single time. You got to get it just right, but it is pretty repeatable without too much issue once you start to get the hang of it. I end up failing about 1 or 2 times out of every 5 times that I try or so, but this dupe makes it extremely easy to get an absolute ton of the ancient civilization cores super fast. And depending on what you are building, as I said, it works with anything. You can also get tons of other resources like Pal Steel or Hexalite. I know Pal Steel is a bit of contention for a lot of people. They did make it easier to get oil in the last update, but it's still a bit of a pain in the butt. And with this, you can just dupe it until your heart's content. Now, this next tip isn't really a dupe. I mean, it kind of is, but the game lets you do it, so it's not really cheating. And this is getting a ton of the stat fruits that you need in order to fix a Pal stats. So for those of you who are not aware, there's a hidden set of stats that you can see once you get these glasses in the game. And these stats that many people refer to as the IV stats are the hidden stats that affect your Pal's overall stats. So their health, defense, and attack. When breeding, trying to get these maxed out is an absolute pain in the butt. And ideally for things that you are breeding that are going to be combat worthy, you want all of these stats maxed out at 100. It is infinitely easier to just breed a Pal with the proper passive stats that you want and ignore the IV stats and then use the fruits in order to increase those stats to 100. But the problem being, there's only 2 ways to get these. One is with bounty tokens and the other is by using the dog coins in order to buy them from the dog coin vendor. There is no reliable way to farm dog coins. You'll see a lot of videos out there with people telling you like this is the best way to farm them. It's not. There is no reliable way to do it. Everything that has to do with dog coins is somewhat random. So the little piles of trash that show up kind of spawn randomly. The Minmogs spawn across the map randomly, and it's all very random and it's not reliable. But what is reliable is the bounty tokens. It is very easy to farm these as the bounties respawn every single day. So you can farm a ton of them every single day, and you can actually double the amount that you get, and it's pretty easy to do. So here is the location of a bunch of bounties that are near waypoints that are super fast to get to that you can go through and harvest every day. What you want to do is make the highest level of Pal Sphere that you can get a hold of at any given point of time that you are trying to farm these. Obviously, the higher the better, because it's going to make it easier to catch them, and that is what we're going to do. The easiest way I have found to do this is ensure that you have a Ring of Mercy so that you can't kill them, bring them down to 1 hit point. Then you want to mount a Pal that has electric damage and apply the electrocution debuff to them. This is going to make it easier to capture them. If you are wearing the Ring of Mercy while you are riding said Pal, you will not kill them. You will simply apply the debuff. On top of that, you also want to try to crit them. Doing all these things together drastically improves your chance to capture them on the first go, because this is a time thing. The faster you can do all this, the more efficient and better it is. Capturing them will get you all of the rewards rewards that they normally drop. Then you want to go back to your base and run them through a butcher machine. Doing this gets you all of those rewards a second time. So for some of the bounties, instead of getting a mere 12 bounty tokens, you will instead get 24, and all it did was cost you a couple of PAL spheres. PAL spheres of which I just told you how to duplicate the resources for that you would need to make them. So making a ton of them should not be a problem for you. Then you can just use these bounty tokens to buy all of the fruits that you need in order to increase whatever PAL stats that you want to increase. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you all found this video helpful and informational. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more of my content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.